creators, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chijis and today we'll be bringing another design to life. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this stylish cowl neck top. So set up your machine, grab your fabric and let's get right into it. And don't forget, get your tools ready. Let's get started. So welcome back to the tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you the materials needed. I have this beautiful silky fabric here. I have this in 2 yards. I have my hairstay, so I'm going to be using my hairstay. I have some pairs of scissors here. I have my measuring tools. I have me some markers. I have my favorites, my tape. I have some chalks and I also have my pattern paper. I'm going to be drafting on my pattern paper for it to be clear. My pins! So I'm going to be using my pins to pin this fabric because this fabric shakes a lot. That's that for the materials. Right on your screen now, you'll be seeing the measurements needed. Just come down by 1/2 inch from the tip of your paper. Connect this broken lines with a straight ruler. So I'm going to be marking my vertical measurements. I'm going to be starting with, let's label this shoulder. I'm going to be starting from my shoulder down to my bust line. And from my shoulder down to my bust line is 11. I'm going to mark that 11. Then still on my shoulder, I'm going to mark from my shoulder to my waistline. And from my shoulder to my waistline is 17.5. I'm going to be imputing that here also. And I'm going to be marking my shoulder to my hip and I'm going to be using 24. It's safe to say I'm going to be using this full pattern for my hip, my shoulder to hip. Then I'm going to be connecting with the straight ruler. Then I'm going to label this. This is my bust, my waist, and the full length, also known as hip. That is shoulder to hip. I'm going to be marking my neck width. I'm going to be using a neck width of 3 inches and the neck of 1.5 inches for the back. So now to mark my shoulder, I'm going to be marking my shoulder and my shoulder measurement is 15. 15 divided by 2, that is 7.5. I'm going to be adding 1/2 inch to that 7.5, making it 8 inches. Then I'm going to be marking out my neckline. My neck width, I'm using 3 inches for my neck width and the neck depth of 1.5 inches. And I'm going to mark that. I'm going to use my curve to curve out the neck, curve out the neckline. Then I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch at the shoulder for the shoulder slope. Now to get my chest line, you can just say your round bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. Some persons come up here by 2 inches, but I'm going to be using my round bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, and that will give me 8. I'm going to be imputing that 8 here after the 1 inch for the slope. I'm going to measure what I have here, which is 8. I'm going to bring it down here so that I can get a straight line. Then I'm going to be connecting this line, a straight line like this. Then I'm going to square out this line. Then I'm going to be connecting this shoulder slope to the neckline with a straight line. I'm going to label this my chest. my chest line. And to get my armhole curve, I'm going to divide what I have here. What I have here is 8. If I divide that into 2, I'm going to be having 4 inches. I'm going to mark 4. On where I marked 4, I'm going to be coming in by 0.5. I'm going to put that down. Then I'm going to be marking my round bust circumference on my chest line. And the round bust I'm using is 9.6. So I'm going to be putting that down here. After inserting my round bust, I'm going to be adding 0.5 inches for ease here. Then on my bust, I'm going to repeat exactly what I did on my chest line, which is imputing my round bust, which is 9.6 plus 0.5 for ease. Then at the waistline, I'm going to be imputing my waist measurement, which is 8.1. I'm going to impute that here. I won't be adding the ease to the waistline. On the hip, I'm going to be marking my hip measurement, 10.8. Then I'm going to be adding 0.5 for ease. I'm going to use my ruler and connect these lines together like this. So at this point, I'm going to blend it. This sharp point, I'm going to blend it. Then on my armhole, I'm going to curve this out. So this is back pattern. I'm going to extend this chest line out now because for the front part, it's going to be focused on the chest line. I'm going to cut through. This is my back part. I'm going to use this back part to cut my front pattern. But before I cut my front pattern, I'm going to place my fabric under and first of all cut out my back pattern. And when folding your fabric, you're going to be folding your fabric together, like you're going to get it in a fold. So let's do that right now. So as you can see, I have cut out my back pattern on my fabric. I added 0.5 at the neck, 0.5 at the shoulder. I added 1.5 at the side. Then at the hem, I added 3/4 of another 0.7. So I'm going to remove this right now. After taking out the pins, this is what I have for the back parts. I'm going to be altering the chest line to cut out the front pattern. So remember, this is our chest line. So at the chest line, I'm going to be cutting through the chest line to the armhole part, but I'm not going to be cutting it fully. I'm not going to be cutting till the end. So watch what I'm doing. I'm just going to cut it slightly, then at least to some extent. Now you can see what it looks like. You can see what it looks like. So I have placed my back pattern on my fabric. Please, I would advise you to pin because this fabric is quite a fabric to work with. I had to pin. It was just shaky. You can see it keeps slipping off the table. So I would advise you to pin your fabric. You can see I have pinned mine. Then I have already placed my front pattern paper on my fabric I'm using for my front. How did I get this fold of fabric? I folded my fabric, my front fabric. I folded the front fabric into two. You can see that. Then at least I should have 15 to 16 inches at the top part for this pattern. So at this upper part, I have up to 15 to 16 thereabout length, that is from here to this part. That will help you to get the cowl neck. So I'm going to just tilt this a bit. So I'm just going to be tilting it. Then after tilting that, I'm going to measure how I want my cowl neck, the depth of my cowl neck to be. So measuring the depth of the cowl neck now, my neck width, I'm going to measure to the fold. Please kindly note that my fabric is on fold. You can see it's on fold, and you can see that the center back pattern is on the folded part. Please, I want you to see how it is before I start anything to avoid mistakes. So now I'm going to tilt this part, that is the chest line. I'm going to tilt it. Then I'm going to measure from the neck width. From this neck width, I'm going to measure to the center back. And I'm going to measure it. I have 11. I want mine to be 12. You can see that from my neck width to the center back, I have 12. And since I've gotten my 12, I'm going to pin. I've gotten that this is where I want it to be, on 12. That is the depth of my cowl. I want it to be 12 inches. So I'm going to pin this down right here so that it doesn't move. I'm also going to pin here too. So this is what it looks like. So if you want your cowl neck to be deeper, what you will do is to fold a wider fabric, and you continue tilting this upper part. You keep tilting it till you're able to get the depth, the cowl depth or the cowl effect you want from this part. So I'm going to be adding half an inch on my shoulder line. Then on my neckline, I'm going to be adding half an inch. Then on the sides, on the side of my fabric, I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches. To the side, I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches. Then at the depth, sorry, at the hemline, I'm going to be adding 3/4 of an inch. Then I'm going to connect this, going to just trace it out like this. I'm just going to trace it out like this. So after extending that, I'm going to be connecting this part of the neckline straight to the tip of my fabric. If you do it straight like this, it is not bad, but just know that you're going to be cutting another fabric for the facing of this cowl neckline. So I'm just going to be connecting this line all the way to this front part. Just watch how I'm doing it. Place your ruler like this. I'm sure you can see that. Place your ruler, then connect it in a straight line. That was why I told you initially to have enough fabric so that you can get this effect. So this is what I have now. This is what I have at this shoulder part here. At this shoulder part, I'm just going to give a mark because I'm going to be notching this part. This is my shoulder. This is where my shoulder will be joining the back shoulder. So this is what it looks like. And if you cut it like this, exactly how I did it, this part will serve as the lining for your cowl effect. I'm simply just going to cut through the lines that I marked. So at this part here, which is going to start for the shoulder, I'm just going to give it a tiny notch. I'm just going to give it a tiny notch here so that it will help you know where you're going to join the front shoulder and the back shoulder together. You can see the tiny notch that I did here. So I'm going to remove my pins now. So this is what I have for my front parts. You can see the effect of the cowl neckline at the front. You would not really see the beauty of this now until when it is worn. So this is what it looks like. This here where I notched, this is the shoulder, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to be bringing my back pattern. I'm going to be placing it right side of the front to the right side of the back. So I've already joined the shoulder together. That is the point that I notched when I was cutting the front pattern. You will just pick that part that you've notched. Look at the notched part here. So I just picked that and I attached it to my back shoulder and I aligned it. This is it. Then I'm going to sew the shoulder with 0.5. So after stitching with 0.5 on the shoulder, you can see what the shoulder looks like now. Then this is the cowl neckline. So I do not have a serger, so I'm going to just take it to the market when I'm done to weave this neckline part, because if you don't weave it, look at, it's going to fray. It's already fraying already, it's already fraying. So we have to weave all these parts so that this fabric can have a good duration, because if you don't weave it, this edges are going to frail and we do not want that. So after that, I'm going to align the back neckline. I'm going to pick up the back neckline like this. I'm going to align it with the front. I'm going to align it, make sure that the shoulders are together. You can see that. Align it like this. Align the back and align the front. Then I'm going to take it to the ironing board and I'm going to iron so that this lining part can go inside. So as you can see, I have given it a good iron press. Then you can see how it looks like now at the front part. So you can see what it looks like. So this is just going to help me know where to fix my collar. When I want to fix my collar, it's going to help me navigate inserting the collar. So I'm just going to be measuring the back neckline for now, and I'm just going to measure the back neckline, placing my measuring tape. And I have 7 inches for the back neckline. And for the front, I'm just going to be coming down by 3 inches. You can see that the collar did not go all the way down. So I'm just going to be coming down by 3 inches for the front neckline on both sides. So I'm going to be adding what I got for the back neckline, which is 7. So plus 3 inches that we're going to be using at the front for the right side, which is 10, plus another 3 inches, which is 13. So altogether, I'm going to be adding my 7 inches for the back, then 6 inches. So the total length of my collar is going to be 13 inches. So this is the piece I'm going to be using for my collar. So 13 divided by 2 is going to give me 6.5, which I'm going to impute here, 6.5. And I'm going to be going up by 3. The height of my collar is going to be 3 inches, while the length is 6.5. So, and on this side also, where I marked, where my 6.5 ended, I'm going to be going up by 3 inches too. That is for the height. 3 inches. So I'm going to be connecting this with my straight ruler. So here that I have 6.5, I'm going to be taking it to the top part. I'm going to be taking it to the top part. Instead of marking 6.5, I'm going to be adding half an inch, or you can add 0.7, that is 3/4 inch to it. This is 6.5 here. You can either add 0.5 or 3/4 of an inch. I'm adding 3/4 of an inch here. I'm going to extend the line. So I'm just going to connect this upper line to this lower line with a straight line. You can see it is quite slanted. So this part is going to be cut on fold. This is the center back and this is the side back. This is the top part and that is top and this is down. At the center back, I'm going to be going up by 0.5 inches here. Go by 0.5 inches. So I'm going to be connecting the center back to the side back on a straight line like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Just connect it like this. Great. And that is it for your collar. I'm just going to be cutting this parts out. You can see that I have cut my collar on my fabric. So I added a sewing allowance of 0.5 on the top. I added 0.5 at the side back, and also at the bottom I added 0.5, except the side back I didn't add 0.5. So I'm going to open it now. I'm going to cut two pieces of this. I'm going to be ironing my hairstay on the wrong side. So you can see I have two pieces of my collar here and I have my hairstay. I have joined them together, right face facing right face. Then I'm going to stitch. So I'm going to be stitching up the up part here. I'm going to be stitching the sides and I'm not going to stitch here. Here is going to be left untouched. So stitch here like this, stitch the upper part, stitch the sides with 0.5 inches, and I will turn it to the front, then iron it, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I have pinned down my back. I have pinned down. So now make sure that your collar piece, you're pinning it down on the gaiter line, just like what I'm doing right now. This is me pinning it down on my gaiter line. Make sure you're pinning it well. You can see that line that we got initially when we ironed it. Please, if you have any comments, if you have any question, please leave it down on the comment section and I will be glad to respond. Please, if you've watched up to this part of the video, please do like, subscribe, turn on your post notification to be updated anytime we post a new video. So this is it. I have pinned it down on my gaiter line. You can see this is the last part of the pinning. I have successfully pinned it down. Hope you can see. Now this is that gaiter line I'm talking about. You can see it. So I'm going to repeat exactly what I did on this other part. So after stitching it down, this is what I have here. So I'm going to go to my sewing machine now to stitch down, and while I'm stitching down, I'm going to make sure I open it. You can see. Make sure you open it. This is how you're going to stitch it. When stitching, this is how it's supposed to be. I'm going to stitch it like this, opening my lining. My lining is going to be opened out. I'm going to stitch like this. Make sure I'm not picking another fabric under. So I just need only my collar and this, and I'll just stitch it all round. So this open parts, I'm just going to take this one inside, this rough edges inside, then I'm going to fold this and iron it. Then I'm going to use it to lock up this parts. So I'm done stitching the neckline. When I'm done, I'm going to put it on the mannequin so that you see what it looks like. So I'm going to add my sleeves and then I'll show you what it looks like on my mannequin.